Your brain isn't running slow, it's actively holding on to unfinished tasks, literally reserving precious processing power for them. This isn't some flaw in your character, it's an ancient neurological feature, a persistent background process consuming your most vital mental RAM. You're carrying invisible cognitive baggage, and it's dragging down every single thought. In the next few moments, you will unlock the precise mechanism behind this mental drag, understanding exactly how the brain creates persistent burdens from incomplete tasks, and discover a powerful neuroscience-based secret to instantly free up those critical mental resources. We will delve into the profound Zeigarnik effect, revealing why those open loops in your mind cause cognitive leakage, much like a fragmented hard drive slows down an entire system, and how immediate microscopic task completion acts as your personal mental defragmentation. Think of your mind as an incredibly sophisticated high-performance computer. Every single thought, every decision, every flicker of attention demands a slice of its central processing unit, its internal RAM. When you leave a task unfinished, a reply you need to send, a report you started but didn't save, a decision you put off making, your brain doesn't just forget it. No, it allocates a small but persistent portion of its working memory to keep that incomplete item active. It holds it open. This is the core of the Zeigarnik effect, a phenomenon first observed and named by Soviet psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik in 1927. Her pioneering research, stemming from her observation that waiters could recall details of unpaid orders far better than completed ones, demonstrated that a task once initiated creates a kind of cognitive tension, an internal system signaling "not yet done." This tension demands attention, not just when you're actively working on it, but constantly, simmering in the background, subtly drawing on your finite mental reserves. It's like having a dozen browser tabs open that you aren't even looking at, each one quietly consuming battery power and processing speed. The human brain, in its incredible efficiency, doesn't want you to forget important, uncompleted goals, so it keeps nudging them to the forefront of your subconscious. This evolutionary mechanism, while useful for survival in primitive times, becomes a significant drain in our modern, cognitively demanding world. The revelation is this: your brain doesn't truly distinguish between a task you're actively struggling with and one you merely haven't finished. Both create an active mental burden. This background processing isn't benign. It's a silent thief of focus and a powerful precursor to procrastination. Imagine you're trying to focus on a complex strategic document, but in the back of your mind, there's that email you half wrote to your colleague, the two small edits you still need to make on a presentation, and the vague promise you made to yourself to research a new software. Before you had this understanding, you might have just felt scattered or distracted. Now, you know those feelings aren't random. They are the direct result of your brain actively managing a dozen unseen, incomplete cognitive loops. You're not just trying to focus, you're trying to focus while simultaneously processing a long queue of mental half-tasks. This constant, low-level cognitive load depletes your executive function, making it harder to initiate new tasks, harder to resist distractions, and critically, harder to engage in deep, sustained periods of focused work. How many tabs are open in your mental browser right now? The impact on productivity is profound. Consider the classic before scenario. You start your day feeling overwhelmed. You open 3 documents, answer half an email, then switch to a meeting agenda. Then remember a phone call you need to make. By 11 o'clock, you've been busy for 3 hours, but have you actually completed anything meaningful? Probably not. You've accumulated a dozen open loops, each adding to your cognitive burden. Now, contrast that with the after scenario. Armed with this neuroscientific insight, imagine tackling those micro tasks immediately. An email arrives that takes 30 seconds to answer, you send the reply instantly, closing that loop. A quick scheduling request, you handle it right then. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about systematically reducing the number of active processes in your mental RAM. Research by Masacampo and Baumeister in 2011 even demonstrated how unfulfilled goals lead to intrusive thoughts, directly interfering with performance on subsequent tasks. When participants were given a goal but prevented from completing it, their working memory capacity for a different task was significantly impaired. They weren't just thinking about the unfinished goal, their brain was actively keeping it alive, demanding resources, draining their mental energy. The measurable outcome is undeniable. A clear, defragmented mind experiences an immediate surge in focus, a dramatic reduction in initiation resistance, and a profound improvement in the quality and speed of deep work. You move from feeling constantly behind to feeling effortlessly ahead. It's a foundational shift in how you experience your workday, leading to fewer errors, faster task switching, and a level of mental clarity you might have thought was unattainable. So, how do you actively perform this RAM reset on your own brain? Here are 3 brain-based techniques you can implement today, each designed to strategically close those open loops and free up your cognitive power. Firstly, embrace the 1-minute micro-close. Any task that takes 60 seconds or less to complete must be done immediately, not later, now. Did you just read an email that can be answered in 2 sentences? Send it. Did you notice a small item needing filing? File it. A quick text message? Send it. The brain's response to this is immediate and powerful. It prevents the initial formation of a persistent open loop. It never even registers as an unfinished task. The result is a continuous real-time defragmentation of your mental workspace, preventing cognitive leakage before it even begins to accumulate. This isn't about being busy, it's about being strategically decisive. Secondly, adopt the commit to complete protocol for larger tasks. Instead of just working on the report, commit to completing the smallest viable unit of that task. Instead of starting the project, decide you will write the complete introduction paragraph and find one supporting statistic. The specific method here is to define a concrete, closable mini-goal before you begin. Your brain perceives writing an introduction as an achievable, completable loop. Once that small unit is finished, your brain registers a win, releasing that specific cognitive tension. This strategy breaks down overwhelming open loops into a series of manageable, closable mini-loops, building powerful momentum and drastically reducing the resistance you feel when initiating complex work. You trick your brain into a continuous cycle of micro-satisfaction, making the entire project feel less daunting. You're not battling laziness, you're battling a primitive attentional system designed to keep you vigilant about unfinished business. Thirdly, implement the brain dump and archive ritual. At the end of every significant work block, or certainly at the end of your workday, dedicate 5 minutes to capturing every single incomplete thought, task, or decision lingering in your mind. Write them down, not on a napkin, but in a dedicated, trusted system, whether that's a digital note app or a physical notebook. The crucial step is then to quickly categorize them, to do tomorrow, delegate, schedule, or delete. The brain's expected response is that by externalizing these items into a reliable system, it perceives them as archived rather than active. It lets go. It no longer needs to actively hold them in working memory. The result is an incredibly clear headspace, allowing for genuine mental rest and an effortless transition away from work concerns, significantly improving your ability to disconnect and recharge. Consider what it truly means to understand your own operating system. You are no longer merely a passenger in your own head, buffeted by random distractions and invisible mental burdens. You are now the conscious architect of your cognitive landscape, working with your brain's powerful ancient mechanisms rather than fruitlessly fighting against them. This isn't about productivity hacks. This is about a profound identity shift. You are transforming from someone who feels overwhelmed by tasks into someone who strategically orchestrates their brain's resources, consciously closing loops and reclaiming their focus. You are becoming an active manager of your own cognitive RAM. You begin to recognize the subtle whispers of an open loop, and you possess the precise tools to silence them, not through willpower, but through intelligent design. Master this profound understanding. Your brain is not merely a tool for completing tasks. It is a dynamic, evolving system, and by applying these principles of conscious loop closure, you don't just optimize your output, you fundamentally reshape your relationship with focus, clarity, and creative potential. It is profound. There are even deeper layers to unlocking your brain's true capacity, secrets that most people never encounter, and the next revelation awaits.